Okay. Hi, Yari.
Hi,
Hi, David. Hi, John.
konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa? Really?
Yeah, they're 2 hours ahead of us.
1 o'clock here.
Yeah.
Is it? Ah,
See, somewhere in the world, it's already beer drinking time. So, yeah.
In Japan.
Yeah, exactly. So
you don't watch
Why
the
not?
news. They've been drinking beer in England at 6 o'clock in the morning at Wetherspoons.
never
But
go there
new
again.
news, I don't know if you've just seen it. It's just come out from China. They just released new news. No?
No? What about
6 a.m. Is that already drinking or still drinking? Because that
No,
does make a difference.
Started drinking.
Ah, okay.
The Wetherspoons pub, they are allowed to start selling beer from 6 o'clock.
Jesus.
Rokuji goes then. No, China,
decided
the
that.
new strain just come out of the virus. They've just told us all worse than 19. Why is
Crazy.
China starting all these viruses? That's what the news is asking.
Right. Anyway, let's get going, guys, because we're already slightly behind. So, what I'd like to do today is we start off with some revision of please do and please don't, and then we're going to look at the words for exist, to exist for both living objects and non-living objects, and that will bring us very nicely to the present continuous tense. For example, saying I am doing something now. I'm doing this. So we talk about a duration of time when we're doing something rather than just points in time to say I'm going to Tokyo. It could be just for 1 second, for example, whereas continuous present tense means for a duration. So anyway, but let's begin with the revision from last week. So Wayne, you're on top. What I'd like you all to say is to first say please do something, and then please don't do something. So I'll give you the example. So please pay for tonight's dinner. Please pay for tonight's dinner.
Dinner?
So you could say konban gohan.
Okay.
Oh, I've said it, Piotr. Thank you. Yeah, it's running. Thank you. Konban gohan is fine. So
Konban.
Bangohan
Please.
is a dinner, is evening meal.
Yeah.
And then if you said konban gohan, then this would mean this evening's meal.
And pay?
Harao is the infinitive. Harao.
konban gohan ga?
So you're paying for that thing. So you're doing it's a transitive verb on an object.
Gohan de?
Not there, but you're actually paying. You're paying the dinner.
Wa.
Not wa.
No what?
Not wa. No. So how would for a transitive verb where you're doing something? No, where you're doing something to something. What would be the oh? Yeah, exactly. Oh, it could only be oh. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. konban gohan o how to say again?
Harao.
Harate kudasai?
Yes, exactly. Good. Perfect. One more time, please.
konban gohan o harate kudasai.
Perfect. Konban gohan o harate kudasai. Good. And then Wayne, how would you say, please don't pay for tonight's dinner?
konban gohan o what's the infinitive again? Sorry.
Harao.
Harawa?
Good.
Nai de kudasai.
Perfect. Konban gohan o Harawanai kudasai.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah. We actually started on one of the hardest ones because it's harao is a verb which only finishes with the letter U. So we have to remember that those
Harawa.
ones becomes wa. Yeah, exactly. Harawanai kudasai. Excuse me a second. I'm just going to turn off my WhatsApp because somebody's beeping me. Good. Yeah. Excellent. Well done. Łukasz, how about this one? Please write a letter to me. Please write a letter to me.
手紙、to me. 私に
Good. Yes.
手紙を聞く
Let me give you the infinitive. So to write is kaku.
書く。書き手
Not
Katte.
kakite. What happened? Do you remember? Dozo.
買って。
Not kate. So for verbs which finish with ku, this ku becomes ite. Ite.
書き手
No. Just the entire ku, that whole syllable gets destroyed and is
Yes.
replaced with ite.
書いて。
Kaite.
Okay.
Yes. Kaite.
私に手紙を書いてください。
Perfect. Watashi ni tagami o kaite kudasai. Good. And then how would you say, please don't write me a letter? How would you-
私に手紙を書かないでください。
Perfect. Watashi ni tagami o kakanaide kudasai. Excellent. Well done. Good stuff. Tom, how would you say, please pour another glass of red wine, please?
Pouring is
Sosogu. Sosogu.
sosogu. So please another. But
Yeah. So let's start this use of saying another because we're going to use another quite a lot, I think, in future. So you could just say, you could use the hitotsu futatsu system, which you might have read about in one of the
it's
posts.
1 and 2. Hitatsu,
Yes,
futatsu, mitsu is
exactly.
3.
Perfect. Mutsu, itsutsu, sorry, hang on.
Hitotsu,
Futatsu, mitsu, yotsu, itsutsu, mutsu, nanatsu, yatsu, kokonotsu, to. So, I mean, most people don't really go past mitsu. So if you can at least remember hitotsu, futatsu, mitsu. But to say one more, then you could just say more hitotsu. And this would apply to anything which is inanimate. More hitotsu.
mohitotsu.
It's a good all-round useful tool. More hitotsu. One more. Łukasz, dozo.
Sometimes on the train you hear もう一度。
Yeah. So
That-
this would. So this means one more time. though.
Okay.
So you could say, if somebody says, "Who wants another beer?" you say "moichiro" one more time. But it's what you should really use then is if you're going to use more and then ichi counter, then it will be more ippai for a glass.
Okay. So it's okay. Thank you.
So Tom, you've got a choice of either more hitotsu, which can be used for everything, or more ippai. More ippai.
Yeah. So the original sentence was another glass of red wine. Eh?
Please,
Please,
yes. Please pour another glass.
pour
of
another
red wine.
glass of wine. Mohitotsu.
Mhm.
Glass red wine. Red is akka, so akai. Glass was ippai. And the mohitotsu. Akai ippai.
Hang on a second. So let's just think of the sentence. So we've got. Let's make red wine first. Let's use that as the seed of the sentence. So for things like red wine or white wine, instead of saying akai wine, which means wine which has been made red, then you can chop off the e and say aka wine. This means wine which is always red, aka wine.
Okay.
So if you talked about a black dog, you wouldn't say a kuroi inu because that sounds like a dog which has become black, but you would say kuro inu. a dog whose nature is that it is black. So red wine would be aka wine. So what would be, Tom, as you're from that region, what would be white wine?
Shivo wine.
Perfect. Shiva
Shivo
wine.
wine.
So
Oh.
aka wine.
Aka wine.
Yeah.
Another glass Mohitotsu
Good.
Ipai.
So either Mohitotsu or Moipai. You don't. Mohitotsu already contains the counter within it.
So Mohitotsu.
Mhm.
Okay,
First-
konnichiwa, minasan.
Konnichiwa.
Sosogide.
So it's not sosogide, but
Gide.
sosogu. So think about
Soso-
another group one. Group
Yeah, so
one
that was
verb.
Oyogi. Oyogu was the example.
Yeah.
And then the gu changes to ide.
Good. Yes.
So it should be sosoide.
Sosoide. Yes. good.
Sosoide.
Yeah. Good.
So sosoide. Kudasai.
Perfect. Yeah.
So
So one more time.
one more time. So, aka wine, mohitotsu, sosoide kudasai.
Perfect. So you might have, those of you who are being observant might have noticed that Tom didn't use or in there. So we need to find a good place to put or. And in a similar way to saying, let me give you an example. I will study Japanese. Nihongo o benkyou shimasu. Or Nihongo no benkyou o shimasu. So both of these mean the same thing. They're completely equal. Nihongo o benkyou shimasu. So you can see I've put the o after Nihongo, after Japanese, and then made study benkyou shimasu one thing. Or the alternative was Nihongo no benkyou, the study of Japanese, or shimasu, I will do. They mean exactly the same thing. So the same thing with this example, Tom. You could say aka wine o mohitotsu sosoide kudasai, or aka wine no mohitotsu o sosoide kudasai. However, the first one is the most common one. This is much more natural. Aka wine o mohitotsu, something. So, do you want to have another run at that?
Yeah. Aka wine o mohitotsu sosoide kudasai.
Perfect. Aka wine o mohitotsu sosoide kudasai. Excellent. And then how do you say, please don't pour? Just simply, please don't pour.
Sosoganai de kudasai.
Perfect. Sosoganai de kudasai. Excellent. Thanks, Tom. Well done. Piotr. Piotr wa tsugi desu.
Kawaii.
Please give me that book back. Please give me that book back.
Give back was kairu? No, that's
Nearly. Kaesu.
kaisu. Okay.
Kaesu. Yeah.
So, その本を that would then be please give that book back would be 返してください.
Perfect. その本を返してください. Good. And then how would you say, please don't give that book back?
その本を返さないでください.
Perfect.
Does that make sense?
That's correct. Yeah, absolutely correct. その本を返さないでください. Perfect. Well done.
Before I'm muted, by the way, Wayne, happy birthday, belated. Yay.
Happy birthday, Wayne. Woo!
Happy birthday.
Birthday.
Happy birthday.
Okay, Patrick, how would you say, please wait until 3 p.m. tomorrow. Please wait until 3 p.m. tomorrow.
What is until?
Made.
Made.
So guys, you probably should write these two next words down. From is kara, and until or up to is made. Kara and made.
So please wait until 3 p.m. tomorrow.
Exactly, yes.
明日3時まで.
Good.
So until 3 p.m. tomorrow. matte kudasai.
Matte kudasai. Yes. Ashita sanji made, or you could say, if you wanted to be specific that it's 3 p.m., what would you say then, Patrick?
明日3時午後まで待ってください。
Perfect.
And then 明日3時午後まで待たないでください。
Perfect. Matanaide kudasai. Excellent. Well done. Thanks, Patrick. Rob, you okay to start these now? Want to jump?
Give it a try. I can
Okay.
only... Go on.
Please play in that park over there. Please play in that park over there.
あのパークは、あのパークが遊ぶ、そう、遊ぶ
Asobu is the correct infinitive, yeah, but you have to turn it into the te form.
遊ぶ Okay, so あのパークは遊んでください。
Okay, so not ano paku wa, because what's the subject?
が
Not ga either. But what's the actual subject of this sentence?
playing
No. Who are you talking about, or what are you talking about?
or somebody else.
Correct, yeah. So, for example, there could be an invisible anata ga or anata wa at
Yeah.
the beginning of the sentence, so it can't be that. So you're marking the park as a place where something is happening, where an activity is happening.
I choose で。
There, exactly, yes.
あのパークで遊んでください。
Perfect. Ano parku de asonde kudasai. Or you could say asoko no parku de asonde kudasai. There isn't much difference between asoko no and ano, but asoko means that place, that park in that place over there. Whereas ano would normally mean to use a thing which is over there. Yeah. Okay, so how would you say, please don't play in that park over there, without spitting on the screen too much?
あのパーク、okay. あのパークで遊ぶないでください。
Not asobunai, but asob.
So you go up one,
Yep, correct. I got 2, in fact.
go up two. 遊ばないでください。
Perfect. Yeah. So the word for park is koen,
公園。
koen, which means public garden.
Right.
Koen.
あの公園が、
Not ga.
あの公園で
Good.
遊ばないでください。
Perfect. Ano koen de asobanai de kudasai. Perfect. Well done, Rob. That's good.
Let's ask one question. I don't
That's
want to
all.
give people away. When you're using moitotsu,
Mhm.
I don't know why, but I've always heard and said, okawari onegaishimasu.
You can say this for if you want another glass of wine or another plate of food, then you can indicate towards that and say okawari, which means a change of, please. You can absolutely say this, but it's quite, yeah. I mean, it doesn't allow us to practice this particular verb. Yeah.
It might be the wrong place.
Yeah.
ごめんなさい。
Excuse me a second.
Okay, Spiros. Hello. Okay, here's a probable one that you can use in application. How would you say, please step onto the dojo floor? Please step onto the dojo floor.
Step is
Fumu. So you know this from Fumikomi.
Fumikomi.
Yeah, exactly.
Dojo fumite kudasai.
Not fumite, but how do you make the te form out of verbs that finish with mu, like yomu and susumu?
Fumunde kudasai.
Not funde, but just
Funde,
funde.
funde.
Funde. Yes.
踏んで。道場を踏んでください。
Yes. So that means please step onto the dojo. If you want to say dojo floor, this is, well, the word for floor is yuka. Yuka.
道場の床を踏んでください。
Good. Yes. Dojo no yuka. Or funda kudasai. or-
Yuka. Yuka.
Yes. Yuka.
Is
exactly,
yuka is any step or does the dojo any floor
Any
or
any floor. Any
any
floor.
floor? Any
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So you could say dojo no yuka or,
床踏んで
踏んでください。
踏んでください。
or you could say dojo no yuka ni funde
Ni.
kudasai.
Hai.
These are both fine.
Hai.
And then how would you say, now this is the one you almost certainly are going to say, please don't step on the dojo floor.
道場の床を踏がないください。
Fumanai.
踏まないください。
Perfect. Dojo no yuka.
道場の
or-
床を踏まないください。
Perfect.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well done. Good. Dojo no yuka or fumanai de kudasai. Hi, Piotr, dozo.
So is fumanai and fumanai de both usable?
Fumanai de should be the correct one to say, please don't.
Okay. Right.
Hi. Sorry, did I say fumanai kudasai? Sorry. Fumanai de kudasai is correct. Yeah. Wait. Tom, dozo.
How do you say with shoes? Because if I need to use this,
Good. So shoes are kutsu.
kutsu.
And so this is okay. I mean, actually, if you see a sign in a big Japanese dojo that says no shoes, it actually says dosoku kinchi, just means no outside shoes. But if you actually wanted to say please don't step with shoes on, you would have to say kutsu o haite mama fumanai de kudasai. So haite is the action of putting shoes on. Haite. So it's the te form of haite. And then mama means as it is without changing anything. Kutsu o haite mama fumanai de kudasai.
Thank you.
Okay, John.
As-
How would you say, please go home before 10 p.m.?
Okay, so before is
So if you want to say, so you've got a choice here, actually. You could either say juji no mae ni, which really means
no maini.
prior to 10 p.m. Or you could say up to 10 p.m., which would be what?
Made,
Yeah, exactly. You say juji made.
juji made. Juji made. I say ni.
Made is itself a particle.
Okay. So
Yeah.
juji made kaite kudasai.
Perfect. Juji made kaite kudasai. Or if you wanted to say, do the first one, please go home before 10 o'clock rather than until 10 o'clock.
So it was juji
No mae ni.
juji no mai.
Yeah, exactly.
Mai. Okay, juji no mai kaite kudasai.
Yeah, juji no mae ni kaite kudasai.
Juji no mai ni kaite kudasai.
Juji no mae ni kaite kudasai. And then don't go home before 10 o'clock. Please don't go.
I've definitely said that on a night out, so it's possible. So
now you can say it in more than one language.
Yeah. So juji mae de kaera nai de kudasai.
So juji no
juji no mai ni kaera nai de kudasai.
Perfect. Juji no mai ni kaera nai de kudasai. Excellent. Yeah. Well done. David, how would you say, excuse me a second. Please watch television all day. God, sounds like a perfect job, doesn't it? Please watch television all day.
All day would be
so
something he?
No. So one, this is not very instinctive actually. You have to say one day throughout, which is ichi nichi ju. Ichi nichi ju.
Okay.
Sorry, it's not a very easy thing to remember.
Ichi Nichiju. Okay.
Yeah,
And that's a timescale, so that should go first.
good.
Ichi Nichiju. And okay.
Please watch television.
Ichi Nichiju terebi o mite kudasai.
Perfect. Ichinichiju terebi o mite kudasai. Sounds like the ideal childcare method. And then how do you say, please don't watch television all day?
Ichi Nichiju terebi o mitanai de kudasai.
Not
No.
mitanai.
Michimasu. Mitanai. No?
So what's the infinitive of to watch, to look?
Miranai de kudasai.
No, not miranai. No, it's simply miru.
Is it minai?
Minai de kudasai. Yeah, exactly. Minai de kudasai. Yeah, it's a group 2 verb. Yeah, exactly.
Ichi Nichiju terebi o minai de kudasai.
Perfect. Ichinichiju terebi o minai de kudasai. Good. Thanks, David. Well done.
I've heard miranai before. Is it what's that
this
one?
mirareru means to be able to see.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will get onto that because actually miru, the sight, the visual set of the visual verbs. There's about 4 of them that we have to learn because there's different ways of saying to watch, to be able to see, to be able to be seen. These are all 7 different ways. Yeah, but we will approach those later.
Miranai, I can't see.
Yeah, miranai. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. Okay, Yadi, how would you say? Please lose the next match. Please lose the next match. These are all things that you should have picked up in Iaido and Jodo Taikai. Please
What
lose
is
the next.
losing?
Lose. Makeru.
Makeru.
That's why we don't know it.
Makeru.
So what group is that, Yadi?
I think second.
It is, yes. Good.
Makenai. So.
Yeah. So please lose the next match.
Please lose next match. Okay. Match. What is the match?
Okay. Shiai.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. I knew you knew it.
Yeah. Shiai o makete kudasai.
Good. Yeah. Shiai o makete kudasai. Do you know how to say the next match?
Next. I don't know. Next.
I can see Rob shouting it. It's tsugi no.
Tsugi no.
So tsugi is next, and then no makes it of.
Tsugi
no.
So tsugi no. Shiai o tsugi no.
No, so tsugi no is a modifier for shiai. So it goes before shiai. It's like
okay, so I have to start tsugi no shiai o makete kudasai.
Good. Tsugi no shiai o makete kudasai. Good. And then how would you say, please don't lose the next match?
Tsugi no.
Good.
Shiai o makenai de kudasai.
Perfect, yeah. Tsugi no shiai o makenai de kudasai. Excellent. Well done. Thanks, Yadi. Aga. Tsugi wa aga desu. See? Tsugi. How would you say, please believe him? Please believe him.
How was believing?
Shinjiru. Shinjiru. Yeah.
Him.
Do you remember?
Not really.
Kare.
Shinjiro?
Shinjiru, yes, Shinjiru. So which group do you think that comes from?
Two?
Yes, it is.
Second,
Yeah, exactly.
I think.
Sorry, could you just give me a second? Sorry, give me a sec.
Is there a place that number 12 has those rivers for? Could we take it in?
I will take it in for now. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Hi, Dozo.
彼を信じてください.
Yeah, exactly. 彼を信じてください. And then how would you say, please don't believe him?
彼を信じないでください.
Exactly. 彼を信じないでください. You probably need to remember this for when you go to Japan with Mihao. You'll say this all the time. Okay, good. Thanks, Aga. Sophia, how would you say, please come to my house tomorrow? Please come to my house tomorrow.
Okay. My house. Yeah.
Good.
Come. Iku. Okay.
Not iku, that's go. Not
Go.
iku.
It's kuru.
Kuru. Good,
Kirima.
yes.
Okay. Okay. So, ashita.
Uh-huh.
Ie no.
Not ie no, but ie
Ie. Ie ni.
ni.
Okay. Yes. Ie ni.
Mhm.
So, ashita ie ni. Now we have group 3.
Good. Three, yes, good. Group
So, kite kudasai.
Perfect. Ashita watashi no ie ni kite kudasai.
Kite
Good.
kudasai.
Good. Yes, excellent. Then how would you say, please don't come to my house tomorrow?
Okay. Ashita ie ni konai.
Good. Yeah.
Konai de kudasai.
Excellent. Ashita ie ni konai de kudasai. Perfect.
Okay.
Good stuff. Thanks, Sophia. Well done.
Thank you.
And then saigo wa Constantino, there's how would you say, please play squash all day on Thursday?
Okay. I don't know the Thursday.
Mokuyobi. Mokuyobi. Moku.
Moku.
Yeah.
Okay. So we just said the all day. Ichi ni nichiju. Ichi nichiju.
Good. Yeah. Good.
Mokobi. To play is asobu.
It could be asobu, but if you're saying
Shite.
squash or let's use this. If you're
Okay.
saying like squash, tennis, chess, iaido, then just use sort of,
Shite.
yeah.
Okay. Oh my God, I forgot the sentence. Okay. Ichi ni chiji.
Ichinichiju.
Ichichiju. Mokobi squash o shite kudasai.
Okay, so all day Thursday would be mokuyobi. You put mokuyobi first.
Ah,
And then
okay.
ichinichiju.
Ichi ni chiju. Okay. Squash o shite kudasai.
Good. Okay. And then how would you say, please don't play squash all day on Thursday?
Shinai de kudasai.
Hey, and the mokuyobi and all the other stuff?
Okay. Sorry. Mokyobi ichi nichiju squash o shinai de kudasai.
Perfect. Excellent.
Okay.
Mokuyobi ichinichiju skashi o shinai de kudasai. Good. Well done, guys. Piotr, dozo.
Yeah, so you're saying mokuyobi, which includes day, and then you're saying Thursday. And then you're also saying ichinichiju.
Yeah.
Is there a way to say all Thursday?
Mokuyobi. Well, there's a kind of what's the word? There's an onomatopoeia. Does everybody know what an onomatopoeia is? Yeah,
It's big.
like bang. It's a word which means a sound, or a sound that has a meaning, like bang or snap.
Bang.
Bang. Or pop. This is onomatopoeia. There's a kind of onomatopoeia which means all the way through which is zuto. Zuto. So this means if you said mokuyobi zuto, it means all the time, all the way through. Zuto. Yeah. But unfortunately, the formal way to say it is mokuyobi ichinichiju, which is saying day twice in the same phrase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any questions, guys, about this section? You did really well. Cool, good. Okay, let's move on to today's study. Give me a second. Das ist on. That is Japanese corner. Presento. Right, don't worry about this bottom part for a second. Let's just look at the top part. Okay, can you see this slide, everybody? Okay, so today we're going to talk about, initially, we're going to talk about existence, to be or not to be. So if we're talking about people or animals, so anything which is animated, then we use this verb here, iru, which is a group 2 verb. So bukash would be the mass form.
Hey, that's kanji looks familiar.
Yeah, it is.
Irimasu?
Not irimasu, it's group 2. So,
Imasu.
Imasu, yeah. This is the I for ei. Yeah, just means to exist. However, you can use it, you can write this word, this kanji down when you're writing sentences to say imasu, but basically nobody uses it. Everybody writes imasu with a hiragana I when you're using it grammatically like this. If you use it, it will be understood, but nobody uses it really, except in things like ei. Yeah, so this is imasu. So, for example, if you wanted to say I am here, then you would say koko ni imasu. Let me just jump down to this point down at the bottom. Can you read this at the bottom of the page? So unlike other verbs, imasu and arimasu are intransitive verbs. They are things that you are doing to yourself. So you can't use de to say I am here. You have to use ni. Just take it as a rule. Don't worry too much about it. Imasu and arimasu, you use ni to mark the location where this happens. Okay, so far, guys? Okay, so we use it slightly differently to des. If I said, watashi wa koko desu, this means I am this place. You can use it. You would be understood, watashi wa koko desu. But the difference between ni imasu and des is that des normally refers to something which is in your immediate area. So, for example, if I said to Aga, Piotr wa doko desu ka? Where is Piotr? It really means that Piotr is somewhere around us. We should be able to see him. Piotr wa doko desu ka? Yeah, like this. You'd look around and go, I don't know. But if you wanted to ask, where is he? Because he's not here, he's somewhere else. Instead of saying doko desu ka, you would say doko ni imasu ka? Where does he exist? Doko ni imasu ka? In fact, generally, I would advise that when you are asking where is a person, that you should always say doko ni imasu ka rather than doko desu ka. Doko desu ka sounds like somebody has picked up that person and placed them on a shelf somewhere, whereas doko ni imasu ka gives that person some independence, some agency to go and be somewhere themselves without having to be put there. Okay, guys? Okay, and the last thing I was going to say about imasu is that we can use the te form for it. We can say to somebody, please be here. Please be here. Koko ni ite kudasai means almost like please stay here. Or if you wanted to say, make sure you are here at 3 p.m., then you would say, sanji gogo, koko ni ite kudasai. please be here. You can use this. This is fine. Okay. Everybody all right? All right? Okay, let's move on to the next section. If we're talking about inanimate objects, so these are non-living things, then we would use not imas and iru, but arimas and aru. So this is a group 1 verb, arimas, aru. Okay, when we're judging competitions and we shout out shobu ari, this ari means this one here, means there is. Shobu means a win and a loss. Sho is katsu, bu is makeru. So shobu means there is a win-loss. Shobu ari. This is arimasu. And again, you can use it to talk about something which is here. Watashi no keitai wa koko ni arimasu. This thing is here. Rather, instead of koko desu. Best not to use koko desu. Koko ni arimasu. And you can use it for saying there is something here and I have something. So for example, you could say there is a train, hooray, we've arrived at the station and there is a train. We can just say densha ga arimasu. There is a train. But if we want to say I have something, I have money, I have a telephone, we can also use, instead of saying I'm holding, which is long and boring, you can say simply keitai ga arimasu. I have a mobile phone. Or I have no money. Okane ga arimasen. I have no money. Okane ga arimasen. Or I have no time. Jikan ga arimasen. I have no time. So it's very useful for talking about your possessions, what you have with you. Unlike imas, you can't say ate kudasai, because again, aru is an intransitive verb. So if you said ate kudasai, then you're basically saying to the thing that you're talking to, maybe it's your mobile phone, please be here. So to use te kudasai on an inanimate object makes no sense, unless you're mad. These are possibilities. Okay, that was all I wanted to say. So just some simple rules. Use ni instead of de as the location marker. It's better to use this when you're asking questions like, where is this person? Doko ni imasu ka? And you can use aru, arimasu, to talk about your possessions. These are the main points of today. Any questions? Moshi nakareba, let's do some exercises, shall we? Łukasz, you're up first. How would you say there is a cat over there? There is a cat over there.
Asoko ni neko o?
Ga.
Neko ga, neko ga cat would be arimasu or imasu?
It's living unless you've killed it.
Imasu.
Yes, neko ga imasu. Good. And then how would you say there is not a cat over there?
あそこに猫があらない。No, there is no. ありません。
Not ありません, but it's living still. So it's.
ありません。
いません. Yeah. One more time.
My cat is shredding a cat. Sometimes living, sometimes not living. So sometimes you use arimasu, sometimes you use imasu.
Well, if you use imasu, you know that there is another cat, a different cat, which is arimasu. Definitely.
It's the same cat. It's still the same cat.
I don't know. It could be a tangled up cat where its tails are like
But
this.
if that cat is dead, is it arimasu?
Yes.
And it's alive. あそこに猫がありません。
Yeah.
いません。Damn.
Okay, good. Let me do it.
Sorry.
あそこに猫がいません。はい、ありがとうございます。
If you say neko arimasen, you have killed it.
Yeah, if it's dead, then you can say arimasen. Yeah.
Okay.
There is no dead cat.
Next time ask me about my dog.
Or dead parrot. Okay, good. Thank you. Tom, how would you say George is in front of the hotel? George is in front of the hotel.
George がホテルの前います。いますね。
Hotel no mae
にいます。
Good, yes.
います。
George wa hotel no mae ni imasu. Then how would you say George is not in front of the hotel?
George がホテルの前にいません。
Good, exactly. George ga hotel no mae ni imasen. Good, thanks Tom, well done. Piotr, how would you say there is a red car in the car park?
What's car park?
Chushajo.
駐車場。
はい。
Okay. 駐車場に赤い車があります。
Good. Akai kuruma ga arimasu. Good. And there is not a red car in the car park.
Sorry, again. 駐車場
Chushajo.
駐車場に赤い車がありません。
Perfect. Chushajo ni akai kuruma ga arimasen. Good. Thanks, Piotr. Tsugi wa Patrick.
And if the car is Transformers, it's living or not living?
Oh, that's difficult. Depends if it's in car shape or robot shape. You have to judge by appearances.
So it's like my cat.
Yes. Okay. Patrick, how would you say there is a yellow bird in the tree over there? There is a yellow bird in the tree over there.
あそこの木に、
はい。
黄色い鳥がいます。
Perfect. Yeah. So in this case, again, rather than saying kiroi, it would just be kiro, or you could say kiro
Because
no.
it's living?
Yeah, it's a funny thing. If something has been made a color, like a cup or a car, you know, something that's been it has been made that color, then we would use the e adjective for the color. But when something is that color by nature, then we generally don't use e. So yeah, the difference between a red painted car and a red car. Yeah, so I know it's kind of weird, but yeah, basically for living objects, you just wouldn't apply the e, just say the color. So one more time, please, Patrick.
Okay. あそこの木に黄色鳥がいます。
Perfect. あそこの木に黄色鳥がいます。Good. Well done, Patrick. Thank you. Rob, どうぞ。
Sorry, what is ki ni? That's something I've missed.
Ki. Ki is tree.
Ki is tree.
Yeah.
Oh, ki
And then-
tree ni.
Yeah, so ni was just the location marker for tree.
Okay.
So if you wanted to say, for example, in the tree, you want to specifically say in the tree, then you could say ki no naka. Ki no naka. Naka is inside. Ki no naka ni. Good. Okay, thanks, Patrick. Rob, you're actually next.
I shouldn't have asked the question, should I?
Well, never mind. How would you say, do you have a mobile phone now?
今、携帯がありますか?
Good, yeah. 今、携帯がありますか? Perfect. That's it. As easy as that. 今、携帯がありますか? How would you, Rob, while you're here, you can also ask an equivalent sentence by just asking the negative. Asking the negative. はい、どうぞ.
携帯がありませんか?
Yes, exactly. 携帯がありませんか? Don't you have a mobile phone? 携帯がありませんか? Right. Good. Thanks, Rob. Spiros, how would you say, I don't have any money? I don't have any money.
Money is
お金。お金。
お金。
はい。
お金はありません。
お金は or what's the actual topic of the conversation? What what is the general thing you're talking about? Or who?
はい、OK。私はお金をありません。
Not or, but が。
で、
が。
が。
お金が。
私はお金がありません。
Perfect, yes. So all I'm saying is the watashi wa is unspoken, but you can imagine it's there because you're talking about yourself. So you would
お金がありません。
perfect. Okane ga arimasen. Good. Thanks, Spiros. John, how would you say there was a house here? There was a house here 2 years ago. There was a house here 2 years ago.
And I suppose I wouldn't isn't an acceptable answer. So, so there was a house here 2 years ago. Ni sen.
So it's Ninen.
Ninen. Ie. Nisen ie.
John, can I just pause you a second? So if you want to say 2 years ago or 2 years before, then this is the same in front of that you used before for saying, please don't go home before 10 o'clock.
So nisen no mai ni nisen no mai ni
sorry, ninen.
No, sorry, ninen no mai ni ie ga arimashita.
Good, yeah. So guys, this is another small bit of grammar I'd like you to write down. To say 2 years ago or 2 years prior, the long way of saying this is ni nen no mae ni. Ni nen no mae ni. Ni nen no mae ni. Or san nen no mae ni, yon nen no mae ni. But the natural way to say this now is just to say ni nen mae, 2 years in front, or 2 years before. 2 years before. Ni nen mae. Just ni nen mae, nothing else.
Nen mae.
Yeah. So John, how would you say there wasn't a house here 2 years ago?
Ni nen mae ie. Would I say wa because I'm talking about this house? Ie wa.
Yeah, you could say ga actually.
Ga. Okay, so ie ga no, so ni nen mae ie ga ari masen. No, so arimasen deshita.
Perfect. Ni nen mae ie ga arimasen deshita. Perfect. Good. Well done. Good. David, how would you say I was in Cambodia 2 years ago? Let's not use 2, otherwise we don't use enough numbers. Let's say 5 years ago I was in Cambodia.
5年前、カンボジアにhow do you say in? Cambodia no naka?
Just Cambodia ni.
Cambodia ni imasu.
That means I am, but how would you say I was?
Imashita.
Imashita, yeah, good. One more time.
5年前、カンボジアにいました。
Perfect. 5年前、Cambodiaにいました. And then how would you say I wasn't in Cambodia 5 years ago? So you can blame me for the Cambodian War.
5年前、カンボジアにいませんでした。
Good. 5年前、カンボジアにいませんでした. Good. Thanks, David. Well done. Yari. 次はYariです. Okay, we might add a little bit of grammar here, Yanni, but I'll give you the question first. I never had a sports car. I never had a sports car.
Okay.
The Japanese word for sports car is as complicated as you can think. Yeah.
Supporto kuruma.
Yeah, or in fact, sports car is actually how they say it. Sports car. Sports car.
Sports car.
Yeah.
sports car 私のありませんでした。
So you don't need watashi no. Okay. So in fact, you don't even need watashi at all because watashi wa is implicit at the beginning of the sentence. So you could just say.
スポーツカーありませんでした。
Good. Yes. Sports car ga arimasen
が
deshita.
ありませんでした。はい。
Yes. Good.
が
Sports car ga arimasen deshita. If you want to emphasize that you never had a sports car, then there's a really nice catch-all phrase which means never at all or absolutely not, which is zenzen. Zenzen.
Zenzen. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe starting 全然スポーツカーありません。Okay, I start again. 全然スポーツカーがありませんでした。
Perfect. Zenzen sports car ga arimasen deshita. Perfect. Well done. Good. Aga. Watsuki desu. How would you say ready for being thrown into the crocodile pit? I wasn't in Kyoto during Golden Week. I wasn't in Kyoto during Golden Week.
How is Golden Week?
It's pronounced Golden Week in Japanese.
Believe. Golden Week に、京都にいませんでした。
Yes, good. So we've got this sentence now. Kyoto ni Golden Week ni. So ni being used to mark the location and then ni being used to mark the time. So this is awkward in Japanese to keep saying ni. So what you could do is join Golden Week and Kyoto together. And we join it by place first and then the time. So you could use Kyoto no Golden Week ni. So the Golden Week of Kyoto. Hai dozo.
京都のゴールデンウィークにいませんでした。
Perfect. Kyoto no Golden Week ni imasen deshita. Good. Thanks, Aga. Well done. I've now got to make some new examples because I've run out of some. Sophia, how would you say, I absolutely have no money? I absolutely have no money.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, absolutely.
Was zenzen.
Zenzen. So, okane no zenzen have. What else? Arimasu.
Arimasu is have, but what's I don't have?
Don't have. Arimasen. So.
Arimasen.
Okane no zenzen arimasen.
Okay, so the bit that I should maybe emphasize is the particle that's going to be, the object which is being explained by imas and arimas is almost always going to be marked with ga because it's an object of the sentence. So what you're basically...
Okane ga.
Yes.
Zenzen arimasen.
Perfect. Okane ga zenzen arimasen.
Okay.
Yeah. If somebody said, for example, give me a second. Okay, I've got a mobile phone in my hand, and I don't have any money. And if somebody said, what do you have? Do you have money or a phone? Then I could say, okane wa arimasu. As for, keitai wa arimasu. I do have. As for a phone, I do have a phone. Yeah. But if I'm just saying I don't have any money, then okane ga
Okane ga.
arima
Right.
or arimasen. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, good. Thanks, Sophia.
Okay, thank you.
Konstantina.
Sorry, I have a question.
Hi, dozo.
So previously when you said Kyoto no Golden Week, does that work like, because what I'm hearing is I'm here during that time, Kyoto's Golden Week. What if like Tokyo has a different Golden Week and I was in Tokyo right now? If I said Kyoto no Golden Week ni imasu while I'm in Tokyo, would that mean during Kyoto's Golden Week I'm in Tokyo rather than I'm in Tokyo during its Golden Week?
You'd have to separate it. You would have to say, sorry, you're in Tokyo during Kyoto's Golden Week, right?
Yes,
You would say, Kyoto no Golden Week no toki ni, so at the time of no toki ni, Tokyo ni imasu, or Tokyo ni imashita. So you'd have to specifically say Kyoto's, the time of Kyoto's Golden Week. Kyoto no Golden Week no toki ni, Tokyo ni imashita.
So if I don't add toki ni, that would, the Kyoto no Golden Week would mean that during Golden Week I'm in Kyoto.
Let me just try it out. Kyoto no Golden Week ni Tokyo ni. Actually, you could actually just say Kyoto no Golden Week ni, because Golden Week is actually the main part of this. It just belongs to Kyoto. So Kyoto no Golden Week ni Tokyo ni imashita. This would be completely understood as meaning I was in Tokyo during Kyoto's Golden Week.
Can I ask what toki ni means?
Toki. So toki means time. Yeah. So you could really emphasize it by saying Kyoto no Golden Week no toki ni Tokyo ni imashita, but it would be understood if you said Kyoto no Golden Week ni Tokyo ni imashita. Even more, okay, you did ask the question, Patrick, so I'll give you a comprehensive answer. This is a good place to use wa. You could say Kyoto no Golden Week ni wa Tokyo ni imashita, because it's drawing a contrast between the fact that counter to expectations during Kyoto's Golden Week ni wa Tokyo ni imashita. I was in Tokyo. So it's wa is being used to shine a light on the fact that this was Kyoto's Golden Week. Yeah.
Okay,
good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next is Konstantina.
Yes.
I have absolutely no time at the moment. So now I have no time.
Time. Toki. I can use the toki.
No, if you for time meaning free time is jikan.
Jikan. I knew that. Okay. Jikan zenzen arimasen.
Yeah. Jikan ga zenzen.
Jinkan ga.
Zenzen masen. Hai, arigatou gozaimasu. Sophia, dozo.
Yes, hima, isn't it when you have free time?
Yeah, sorry. Actually, hima is used exactly for free time, but it really means kind of leisure time. It means time when you're absolutely doing nothing. But if you're working and somebody says, "Can you help me to write a letter?" If you said hima ga arimasen, it sounds like you're saying, "I'm not here doing nothing. I'm not just at work doing nothing, you know." So you have to use jikan to say, I just don't have time. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Piotr, dozo.
Yeah, so if you really want to specify right now at the moment, would it be okay to use imawa?
If you want to be specifically saying right at this moment, then use tadaima, which is actually the next slide.
Okay.
Yeah, tadaima. Tadaima.
Tadaima.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Although if you wanted to say, I don't have time now, but I will have time later, sorry, then you should say, Ima wa jikan ga arimasen ga nijikan. Yeah, exactly. Ato de jikan arimasu. Yes, exactly.
Okay,
Yes. Yeah, you could. Sorry, you could use this. Yes. Yeah. In fact, you should use this.
Instead of the tada. Okay. Oh, we'll get
Yeah.
there. I'm sure.
Well, you could. So tadaima and ima are both time references. So you could say tadaima wa or ima wa. Both would be fine. Tadaima means specifically right this very moment, whereas ima means now, a bit more flexibly now. But wa is what you're adding to make it say, as for now, I don't have time, but yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Good, okay. And then Wayne, have you done one yet? Because the pictures have
No.
moved around. You haven't, okay. How would you say, I don't have, let's do this actually. I don't have any money now, but I will have money tomorrow.
今がお金ありませんでした。
Not deshita, because that's the past. So now.
ありませんです。
Not des.
が
Arimasen is a verb, so you don't need des at the end. Yeah.
ありませんが、
はい。
明日、
はい。
お金がいますあります。
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. One more time, please.
今はお金がありませんが、
はい。
明日が
No,
お金、
no, this was good. This was right. Ashta wa.
明日は
Uh-huh.
お金があります。
Yes, this is perfect. So let's look at this in a little bit more detail. This is a pure comparison sentence. We're saying, today I don't have any money, but tomorrow I will have money. So this would be kyo wa something. Okane ga arimasen ga. Ashita wa, shine a light on ashita. I will have money. Okane ga arimasu. Yeah. So we can use this arimasu to say now, or even talk about the future. Ashita okane ga arimasu. I will have money tomorrow. Yeah. Good.
I can see Łukasz thinking you better have my money tomorrow.
I wouldn't worry. Pounds don't have any value anymore. Okay. Any questions, guys, before we do the final section? Oh, good, good. Okay. Well understood. The main topic of today is this one, because imas and arimas are really simple. I don't know why we spent so much time on it, but this is what I want to do. Oops. Present continuous tense, yay! Thanks, Konstantina. Thanks, Piotr. I'm glad to see some people appreciate this kind of celebration. So, how to say I'm doing something right now, or I was doing something. How do we talk about a period of time in which we're doing something? Okay, so we're going to use imas. This is the end verb in this sentence. And the way to say that I am doing something is we take the te form of the verb and put imas. It's as easy as that. So, for example, if I wanted to say I'm talking right now, I would say ima hanashite imasu. Ima, now, hanashite, which is the te form of to talk, hanasu, hanashimasu, hanashite imasu. Hanashite imasu. Ima hanashite imasu. And I've already mentioned that we can use ima, or to be more specific, to say really right now, then I would use tadaima. Now, is that okay, guys, so far? Is that question, Piotr? Dozo.
So is it the same tadaima as the one you shout out when you get home?
Yeah, exactly. It means right now.
So you're basically just walking in and saying right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with the te form plus imas in this case, let's say that a machine is working. Would you say machine ga ima hataraite arimasu?
No. So give me a second. Let me just do these points first.
Of course, yeah.
And then I'll if I don't do it, remind me because I'll explain something. Yeah. So this we can use something imas to also indicate what has happened for you to get to somewhere. For example, if you want to say I am on the bus, you could just say bus no naka ni imasu. I am inside the bus. Bus no naka ni imasu. But it would be more correct to say I am boarded on the bus. So I would say basu o notte imasu. So this means I'm boarding the bus, notte imasu. But it also means I have boarded the bus. I am boarded on the bus. Not bus o notte imasu. Or densha ni notte imasu. I'm on the train. If you said tadaima bus o notte imasu, this means right now. This would give the feeling that you are getting on the bus right now. But if you just said ima bus o notte imasu, means I am boarded on the bus. I am on the bus. And remember that,
sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, sure. So if you want to say I'm on the bus, you can say bus ni imasu. I'm in the bus or I'm on the bus. But it's more natural to say I am boarded on the bus. I am aboard the bus, as we would use it in English. I'm aboard the bus. We would use the boarded imasu, notte imasu. If you want to explicitly say, I'm getting on the bus right now, I'm literally walking on the stairs up to the bus, then you would say, tadaima basu o notte imasu. Tadaima, to make it specifically this very moment, tadaima. But if you just said ima, basu o notte imasu means I am aboard the bus. I have boarded the bus. You could equally say basu o norimashita. This means I have got on board the bus. But really in natural Japanese, you would say I am aboard the bus. Basu o notte imasu. Or densha o notte imasu. Is that okay, Patrick?
So if I was saying I'm boarding, then the only difference is the tadaima versus ima.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if I don't use tadaima, then it's assumed that I've already boarded?
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah. There are other ways that you can explain that you are in the process of boarding right now for using tadaima. There's other ways as well, but I will come on to those at a different time. Yeah, but this is a good use of te imasu, te imasu. Remember again that it doesn't matter what you're doing. The final verb is imasu. So the location that you're doing it in must still be marked with ni. It's to say that you exist in this place doing this thing. Okay. All good? To dobrze? Nie? Alles gut?
Nee, kochanie.
Nie, kochanie. Okay, well, with some practice, we'll get it. Don't worry. Okay. I'm sorry, I was going to answer your question, Piotr, which was...
Yes, please. About the arimas. Would a non-living object, would you use a arimas for a non-living object?
I'm going to give you half the answer. You can use te imasu to talk about something which is intransitively doing something. For example, a wheel that is turning or a machine that is working. And we would use imasu because it has the suggestion that it is doing something to itself. So kuruma ga hashitemasu means that the car is running, the car is moving. Kuruma ga hashitemasu. The car itself is doing something. So we use imasu even though it's an animate object. That's the bit that I will say we should remember. The bit that I'm going to say you don't have to remember because we'll do it at a much later date because it is very complicated and requires kind of really thinking carefully about subjectivity and objectivity. If you say a picture frame has been hung on the wall, the picture itself has not hung itself. So you can't say kakete imasu. Actually, you can, but it means something. The nuance is slightly different. You would use kakerarete arimasu, which gives it a makes it the passive verb. Makes it a passive verb. We don't have to worry about this, guys, because to be honest, I never use this tense anyway. We will get to it, and when we get to it, I will also be learning at the same time as you, because I learnt it once many years ago, and then I never used it, and I very rarely hear anybody using it. It's such a rare thing to have the passive intransitive verb. But for now, the wheel is turning. Sharin ga mawashite imasu is fine. We can use imasu because it's doing it itself. Okay. Ready to try? Łukasz, you're first. How would you say, right now, I'm meeting Deborah?
Like right now.
Yeah, but why not? Why not?
Tadaima Debra ga.
Not ga, but
Debra o.
Yeah, Deborah or Deborah ni, both are fine. Or Deborah to is also fine as well for meeting.
With.
Yes, exactly.
Tadaima Debra ni. Meet is
Ow.
Atte imasu.
Yes, good. Deborah ni atte imasu. Good. Tom, how would you say, right now I am writing a letter?
Tadaima tegami o and then kaite imasu.
Yes. Ima
kaite imasu.
Kaite imasu. Good. Piotr, how would you say, right now I am swimming in the river?
Tadaima kawa de
Ni.
Kawa ni.
So,
oh yeah,
so
sorry.
remember that it finishes
Imasu.
with imas. Yeah.
So tadaima kawa ni oyoide imasu.
Perfect. Ima kawa ni oyoidemasu. Good. Patrick, how would you say, right now I am talking on the phone? Right now I'm talking on the phone.
Tadaima keitai ni hanashite imasu.
Okay. So with the for example, talking on the phone, we would say we are talking by the way of the phone. So we would say
keitai de.
Yes, keitai de.
Tadaima keitai de hanashite imasu.
Perfect. Ima keitai de hanashite imasu. Good. Rob, right now I'm waiting for the bus.
Tadaima basu de.
Not basu de, but I'm waiting, like waiting on the bus or waiting for the bus.
Tadaima waiting for the bus. Tadaima basu ga.
You actually, so with excuse me, with if you're waiting for something or for someone, we mark it with or to say waiting on something. Or.
I'm trying to wait. Waiting.
Matsu.
So tadaima basu o matteimasu.
Perfect. Yeah. Tadaima basu o matteimasu. Good. Spiros, how would you say? So this is just a nice thing to learn. It's going to be a little bit different. If you wanted to say, I am glad, do you know this word, Spiros? I'm happy, I'm glad.
I don't know the word.
Okay, so it's a verb, yorokobu. Yorokobu. So we actually, instead of saying an adjective like watashi wa tanoshii desu, which means I'm enjoyable, we would say, if you want to say I'm happy or I'm glad, then we would say
Yorokobu.
Yorokobu is the present tense, but we would use the continuous tense. So we would say what?
Yorokobu. Yorokonde.
Yes.
Yorokonde.
And then
imasu.
Imasu. Yeah. Yorokonde imasu. Yeah.
So yorokonde imasu.
Yes. This means I'm happy, I'm glad.
Hai.
Yorokonde imasu. Hai. Good. John, how would
Sorry,
you...
is this the same? Sorry to interrupt. Is this the same yoroscope as when we are
No.
meeting each other? No, it's different.
It's completely different kanji.
Okay, okay.
John, how would you say, right now I'm reading a newspaper?
So newspaper is
Shinbun.
Shinbun. And reading is
Yomu.
Yomu. Okay. So tadaima shibu.
Oh, sorry, Shinbun.
Shinbun. Tadaima Shinbun o yonde imasu.
Perfect. Tadaima Shinbun o yonde imasu. Good. David, how would you say, right now I am getting off the bus? I'm getting off the bus. Sorry, would you give me a second? The delivery's just arrived. Sorry, just give me a sec.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry, David, how would you say, I'm getting off the bus right now?
Getting off is...
You're getting it, yeah?
And I'm just trying to remember ni or o.
The getting off or going out is
Tadaima basu o orite imasu.
Orite imasu.
Ah.
Hey, dozo, one more time.
Tadaima basu o orite imasu.
Yes, good. Tadaima basu o orite imasu. Good. Thanks, David. Yari, how would you say, right now I'm eating a sandwich?
What's sandwich?
Sando.
Tadaima sando tabete imasu.
Yeah. Ima sando o tabete imasu. Good.
Always
That can't be good for your teeth.
Tadaima sando o tabete imasu.
Yes, good. Tadaima sando o tabete imasu. Actually, Piotr, sand is suna, which sounds like tuna, which is pronounced tsuna. So tsuna sando is sando sando. Okay, Aga, how would you say, right now I'm playing tennis?
今、テニスをしてます。
Yeah, 今テニスをしてます. Good. Sophia, how would you say, right now I'm studying Japanese?
今は日本語が勉強して勉強しています。
Yeah, 勉強しています. But let's just sort out your particles, shall we? So,
okay.
What's the general topic of this sentence?
That I'm studying Japanese. Me. Okay.
Yes.
Watashi.
So there's the invisible watashi wa.
So, okay. 今.
Good.
Okay. 今が.
No.
No. 今。日本語. Yeah. Okay. 日本語が.
Not 日本語が, but
日本語の.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
日本語の勉強しています.
Okay. This would, if you said this would be perfectly understood. But just so we're clear, you didn't have an or in that sentence. So where do you think you could put it?
So 勉強を.
Yeah, that would be better.
勉強しています. So it would be 今日本語が勉強.
Sorry, not ga. 日本語.
No. So, okay, 今、日本語の勉強をしています。
Yes, yeah. Sorry
Okay.
to have this confusing thing about something shimasu,
Thank you.
but we should probably just make sure that we're familiar with it.
Thank
All I'm saying is that you've got two ways of saying something shimasu. For example, studying Japanese. Nihongo, oh, for God's sake, phones. Nihongo no benkyou o shimasu, or Nihongo o benkyou shimasu. So you're basically saying, I'm doing the study of Japanese, or I'm studying Japanese. These mean both the same thing, so you can use either one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool, good. Konstantina.
Yeah.
Right, let's say, how would you say, let's see, right now I am, right now I'm listening to Andy.
Okay. What's listening is I
Kiku.
remember. Kiku. I was remember something with Kiku. So, 今、今、アンディが、OK、アンディ、今、アンディを聞いています。
聞いています or I just want the pronunciation to be clear because you just said I'm cutting Andy.
No. No. 聞いて。
聞いて.
Sorry, I didn't mean that.
You said something between cutting Andy or you're dressing Andy. Both are possible, I suppose. Yeah. But I normally dress Frampton rather than.
Okay. So 聞いています。
Yes, 聞いています.
Okay.
I'm listening. Yeah, good. And Wayne, you're the last one. How would you say right now, at this moment, I am on my way going to Tokyo. I'm going to Tokyo.
ただいま東京に生きています。
So, iku is
Iku.
that one exception of group one verbs. You pronounce it as
いて
yes.
います。
いています. Good. ただいま東京に行っています. Good. Excellent. Okay, guys, that's all I want to cover today. And I have secretly made you practice all of the group one verbs in their various endings. So you've now done all of the possible transformations of group one verbs. You've done a few group two verbs, but you know that these are really easy anyway to transform these. And apart from kuru for I'm coming, we've done also the group three verb, remaining group three verb, which is shimasu. So any questions or problems you want to ask now? Piotr, dozo?
Surprisingly, I have questions.
It's okay. So how do you say I have a question?
質問があります。
はい、どうぞ。
いいですか？
どうぞ。
So, let's say that I would want to say that I boarded the bus. Would you use at some point ありました? Oh, sorry, いました. So
okay, so this is a good grammatical question. We don't have to remember this today, guys. So this isn't. We will study this again, and I'll go over it. The good thing about te imasu is it really means a duration of time. Now, if you're in that moment now, then this is te imasu. I'm doing something right now. But if this was a period of time that happened in the past, then you would use te imashita. So, for example, if somebody said, "What were you doing at 3 p.m. yesterday?" rather than saying, "I went to Tokyo," that's not really saying what you were doing. That's saying what you did. You would use Tokyo ni itte imashita. Itte imashita. So you're taking a time period and putting it in the past. I was going to Tokyo, or sushi o tabete imashita. I was eating sushi at 3 p.m. yesterday, not I ate sushi at 3 p.m. yesterday. Yeah. So hopefully you can see the difference between just using the past tense of the verb could be an instantaneous, a 0-second moment of doing something. whereas te imas makes it a duration, clearly makes it a duration. Yeah, good question.
So that actually clarifies my previous question about answering. If someone asks you, "Are you on the bus?" I would say, "Notte imashita." I boarded the bus.
No, that would mean I was on the bus,
but
I'm not on there now. Notte imashita means in the past there was a period of time when I was on the bus, but it suggests that period of time is now finished. So you'd have to say notte imasu. I am now in that period.
Okay, I think my confusion was around the noru. Like I was translating it as boarding, like the act of boarding, when it actually means I'm riding or
exactly. Yeah, that's what it really means. I'm riding the bus. Yeah, yeah. So noru does have that kind of dual meaning of boarding and riding on. Yeah. So you'd say the same thing for horses as well. Uma o nottemasu. I'm riding a horse. Yeah. Do you like the way I'm using a time-dependent graph marker with my head, Łukasz? This is X plus H.
Time is one directional. You can't move this way. You can only move that way.
Oh, sorry. Doing it quantum.
Don't come back. Once you move there, you stay there.
Good. Any other questions? Piotr, dozo. No, you have to say I have a question.
質問があります、先生。
はい、どうぞ。
はい、ありがとう。You sometimes pronounce it as te imas, and I got the feeling that you sometimes contract it to te mas.
Yes.
Is that okay to use?
Yeah, if we had time today, I was going to suggest we do that next, actually, which is you don't have to say. I mean, it's grammatically correct to write it te imas, so tabe te imas. But when you're saying it, as you said, you can rightfully chop that bit down slightly and say tabetemas, tabetemas.
Okay, so it's not even a long a. It's just the I basically disappears.
Yeah, exactly. Tabetemas, hanashtemas. You can say this.
Can you repeat how to make a question, because that was really useful, and Piotr just speaks so fast every time.
So the word question is shitsumon. Shitsumon.
So we say shitsumon ga arimasu.
Yes.
I have a question. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So let's just make sure your pronunciation is perfect, Konstantina. Can you say shitsumon one more time?
Shitsumon.
Okay, just a little bit louder.
Shitsumon.
Yeah, good. That's it. Shitsumon.
Okay.
Good. Yes.
Shitsumon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know why I said that?
Why?
In Japanese, if you want to talk to young children, hard T's become ch's. So shitsumon will become shichumon. Like what those toys called?
Little Gatchamon.
Yeah, Gatchamon, that sort of thing. So so if you say shichumon ga arimasu, it makes you sound like you're a baby talking to a teacher. Shichumon.
Technically, baby level only in Japanese. Yeah, technically you can say.
Shichumon. Yeah.
Shichumon. Okay, thank you.
Shitsumon ga arimasu. Any other questions or problems, guys? If you want to say problem, I have a problem. This is mondai. Mondai ga arimasu. There is a problem. Łukasz, mondai ga arimasen ka?
Only on Monday.
Okay.
I have a question. It's silly. Come back to cats.
You have to say it in Japanese, though.
Shitsumon ga arimasu.
Hai, dozo. Neko no shitsumon desu ne?
Neko no shitsumon. Hai. If cat is dead, it's shini?
No. You have to use the corpse of a cat.
So you can't say shini no neko or shini neko.
Yeah, you could say shinda neko, a cat which has died. Shinda neko. Cool. My internet has just failed me.